So this will be on trail day number 132. It's Sunday, November 15th of 2020. I stayed last night here at the Glasgow Town Hiker Shelter. It was a pretty good night. There's a railroad that's not too far past, that little shed building over the top of the little tractor. So there's probably like 8 or better trains that came by last night. It's crazy how many trains are on there. But I just put my hammock up right here inside the shelter. There was nobody else last night but me, so why not? And another cool little feature is there's a rail trail bike lane there. So if you're ever in the area of Glasgow and you have a bike, I don't know how long it is, but there's a bike lane. But we're getting packed up and get shuttle back to the trail, and hopefully we can get started before it rains. It's supposed to rain today, but it's like just 30-40% chance all day, so it's not going to be like a downpour like the other day. So, but we'll resume when we get back to the trail. So I'm back here at the parking area at the James River footbridge. That's where I got picked up yesterday afternoon. So the goal for today is 14.8 miles to the shelter. And it's probably going to get a little wet. The shuttle driver dropped another hiker off, a southbounder, to hike north, and he said where he dropped him off, it was high winds and pouring down rain. It's not very windy here, but we're going uphill, so I have over 6,000 foot of elevation to cover if we do the 15 miles. Which, to put that in perspective, when we did 20 miles the other day, it was, this bridge been here since 2000. The 20-mile day was 6,000 foot. So we got a steeper climb than we did the other day. But that's alright. And this is the longest footbridge on the AT. So I am wearing my rain pants. I didn't put on the rain jacket because I knew it would get too hot. But I had the rain cover on my pack, so if it starts raining, I'll use my umbrella to keep the top portion fairly dry. I'll have dry, warm gear when I get to camp, so that's what's really important. It looks like there's a dam over there. See the water spilling, but the trail, I think, is going to go to the right and up through there, so I won't get to see the overflow, but oh well. Well, this is kind of cool. A waterfall right here by the river, not far from the bridge. It may just be one of those ones that runs when it's been raining, but it's running today, so Nice. And then it looks like there is a trail that goes that way, so you could go look at the spillway, I guess. But the AT goes off that direction, so that's the way we're going. Just walking along the James River. The footbridge is back there. And here's another little waterfall. Nothing super extravagant, but kind of cool anyway. So this is the Mattis Creek shelter, and it's starting to sprinkle. A nice heavy-duty picnic table there. Fire pit right on the creek. So this is where I was planning to stay last night. It was an easy walk to here, but I'm kind of glad I went into town. At the privy right up there on the hill, and the trail goes right by it, so that's your typical AT shelter. And plenty of camp spots. So I've been climbing ever since I left the shelter, uphill that way, and now it's kind of leveled out. I'm on like this ridge line. The wind's picking up a little here, but it's still not raining. There's just moisture condensation because we're walking in the clouds dripping out of the trees. But that was a pretty good climb. Got about 11.5 miles left to go. And for the most part of the day, we'll be going uphill. Now this little level spot, we're about halfway up this mountain. And then I think there's one, maybe two more peaks beyond this. I'm still hoping we should get there by dark. Even with all the uphill. The southbounder, he was slack packing back to the bridge going northbound. So he's getting to go downhill. I'll run into him at some point today, I'm sure. But uphill, downhill, at this point it's irrelevant. It's just one foot in front of the other. We'd probably have some nice views from this ridge if it wasn't so cloudy. Gotten a little break from the uphill. That's a short one, I believe. That's the trail going north. And this is the way we're going south. kind of halfway up this mountain. The temperature has definitely dropped a few degrees. But I'm sure once I start uphill again, I'll warm right back up. So far the rain has still held off, but I don't expect to get lucky all day. Pick our way through this little rock slide. Well, I'm done climbing for the moment. I've leveled back out again, which is nice. I got just under 10 miles left, and it's 1:15. But I still have 3,600 foot elevation to go. So with all the uphill, I'm doing a little less than 2 miles an hour, I think. So it may get dark before I get to the shelter, but that's alright. Got plenty of headlamp batteries and everything is, the views wise, is non-existent today, so hiking in the dark for an hour is not going to matter. I still have not gotten rained on, so that's a plus. And I've been hearing wind, but I haven't had to deal with it yet. I did run into the southbound guy, which he's going northbound on this section today, but he said it was super windy up top. But that doesn't mean it'll be windy when I get there. The weather may change. But even with all the uphill today, it's been a good day. So it's kind of starting to clear out a little. Got some views off in the distance. So that'd be nice. Actually get a view from the top. All this effort to go up here. You can have the sun somewhat attempting to break through the clouds. The Devil's Marble Yard. I can imagine that's a rock climb and a half. A nice camp spot up here. Be a little bit on the windy side though, I believe. Now we're going to cross over the ridge and have the wind to deal with for a while. Woohoo! Right now the trail grade's rather nice. It it's gotten really windy. There's a lot of trees. I'm going to step over a bunch of sticks. But at least it's not a cold wind. It's actually kind of warm. Hopefully by the time it gets dark or we get to camp, there's no wind. At least it's not raining. We got 8 miles to go, and it's just now 2 o'clock. So we're climbing the steepest part for the day. I expect to get there by 6:30. Seems like a reasonable time. If it'd stay like this the whole way, we could get there probably before dark, but no, we still got some uphill to deal with. So. Like, really the first view of the day. That's the trail going north. It's still kind of cruisy. We were coming around that ridge a while ago. We just kind of circled and we're going around this way. I think the mountaintop that's in the clouds over there is probably where we're going to end up, but I don't know for sure. But I am enjoying this fairly level grade after all that uphill earlier this morning. Well, we made it to the top of High Cock Knob. I have no idea where that name come from, but whatever. There's no view today, really. It's too cloudy. Well, that was a pretty good little climb up here. Now we get to go downhill a little ways, across the Blue Ridge Parkway, and then more uphill. This descent's been kind of rocky. Got 5.4 miles left, and it's almost 3:30. Still got 2,000 foot worth of ascent, and I had cell service, so check the weather for the shelter tonight. It's supposed to be a low of 33 with 25-mile-an-hour winds and wind gusts as high as 43 miles an hour. So with winds like that, if the shelter is empty and there's a way to do so, I will be putting my hammock up in the shelter. Which I don't see why it wouldn't be empty, but you just never know. Yeah, I don't want to be hanging in the trees. Wouldn't want to be tenting under trees for that matter. With 45 miles an hour winds. but we'll make do somehow when we get there. Gotta get there first. Well, I came out over there to this Petite's Gap, I think it is, little parking area, and then there, I think that's the Blue Ridge Parkway over there, the stop sign. But we're about to have to climb up this thing, and I haven't stopped to take a break today, so even though it's going on 4 o'clock and I got 4.5 miles left, I'm going to take a break, have a snack, so I can get up this hill. And this rock looks like a good place to take one. So the rain finally found me, I think. It keeps coming and going. So I'm climbing this last steep section. It doesn't look that steep at the moment. The hill from that road was pretty good. There's only 1,400 foot elevation and 2.2 miles. And then it'll be a climb up to the shelter, but like the last 2 miles is 800 foot or something, so it's not much. Should be pretty gradual. Yeah, it'll rain for like 20 seconds and then quit. And hopefully the downpour will wait till I get to the shelter. So I'm almost to the top of this climb. I've got about 3 miles, or a little under. It's 5:10. So getting to the shelter around 6:30 will probably be about right. Some of this climb followed an old logging road, but some of it's been pretty steep. Well, steep for Virginia. Still not steep compared to New Hampshire and Maine. But if no one's in the shelter, we'll check it out when we get there. But if they are, I suppose that's it for today, since it's about to get dark. Unless we see something worth videoing. I got a view spot here. I don't know how much of the view showing up on the camera, if any. But the sun is setting. I bet it would be a nice view if it was more daylight and not as foggy. Well, anyway, we are getting close to the shelter, so this is kind of cool. Have this stone overlook here. I don't know if any of the lights or anything down below showing up on video or not. The sunlight's practically gone. I bet it would have been pretty cool in the daylight. But, oh well. I just have to figure out which direction the trail goes. I think it's this way, but we'll figure it out in a minute. Nope, it's down there. I've seen a blaze. Right on the tree.